Com. This program is a paid commercial announcement and in no way represents the views of WPHT or its management.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. An Odyssey station. Investor Schooling Live with Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhaus on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Good afternoon and welcome to Investor Schooling Live. Coming to you from Investor Schooling headquarters, I'm Phil Falcone here with my business partner, Larry Steinhaus. We are the founders of Investor Schooling. Get ready to learn real estate investing and stock option investing. Call us anytime during the show with your questions at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. That's right, we're a live program, so you can call us anytime during the show, and we will take your calls. Don't even worry about what we're talking about. Just call us, man. We like to take our listeners' calls. Investor Schooling is located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, serving the Philadelphia area in a real brick-and-mortar building. That's correct. We're local guys, accessible to our students a minimum of 2 nights per week. Do you want to learn this business? The business of real estate investing and the business of stock option investing? Well, if you do, you want to learn it from people who live it every day. That's us. Yo, Larry, what's happening?
What's going on, Mr. Phil Falcone? I am so excited today. You know why?
No, I've no idea.
Because we are going out to dinner with a bunch of our students tonight. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah. I kind of knew about that.
Yeah, we had a contest and a couple people won, and it's kind of neat. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that. We're going to my favorite restaurant. What's my favorite restaurant?
Capitol Grill in New York City.
Well, actually, yeah, but we're not going to the New York City one because I won't go to New York City because I just won't give Bill de Blasio any of my taxes.
You mean you don't like to pay like $57 by the time you take the turnpike and get over the Verrazano
Oh, no, I don't
Bridge?
even mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. I will certainly pay $57 and I will certainly pay to park and all of that, but I just will not let Bill de Blasio have my tax money anymore. That's all.
What are you worried about that dork for?
Because he's destroyed the city.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Who cares?
I do.
We don't live there.
That's true. That's why we live here.
That place was long screwed up before.
And that's why you're moving to Florida because you don't even want to live here.
Okay, well, I'm moving to Florida for a number of reasons, but I've never lived in New York City. I never will. If you set me up with a penthouse there for free, I wouldn't go there.
What if Trump gave you his penthouse?
Well, I might go visit Trump.
Yeah, I would go visit.
But I wouldn't want to live. I don't like all that gold.
You know, like
His whole apartment is decked out in gold.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I've seen videos of
Oh,
it.
have you? Okay. Yeah,
So,
I've
no,
not.
I haven't
That's
been
pretty interesting. I always wonder if he had a car collection. Does he have a car collection?
So I don't think so. No, I just think he has a limo that takes him around wherever he wants to go. But
Okay.
but he does have helicopters, so he can get wherever he needs to go.
That's true.
But I'll tell you, like one time I took, before 9/11, about 4 months before 9/11, I took my family to New York City. And when you counted up the tolls, and then just to get across the Verrazano Bridge, I think it was like $24 or something.
Yeah.
Right, on Easy Pass. And then it was like $50 to park the car or whatever. When we got out of the car, we went to the World Trade Center and I paid for tickets for everybody. And I just looked at my wife and I said, not that I care, but this is pretty funny. I think I've already spent over $200.
Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the parking and the bridge and the tolls and the tickets to get to the World Trade Center, it was like over $200 already. And keep in mind, like I was in New York City by that point, 20 minutes.
Yeah, right, exactly. I know. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you need to be a stock options trader and a real estate investor in order to afford to go to the city.
Yeah, the only way I could afford to go there.
I had a terrible week in the stock market this week, Phil. You know what I discovered? Well, you know what I must say once again? That when your head isn't in it, you need to stay away from it. I was so busy, you know, as you guys know, we bought a new building, we've been renovating the building, and I've been so busy with the contractors that I wasn't paying attention to some key points that happened this week, and it cost me money. Now, it's not like I lost money, but it cost me money. There were points I should have sold something, and I didn't.
Well, it wasn't a great week. The last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were pretty bad days.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Yeah, they were awful. And
Yeah.
We got a couple of students in Beyond Meat, and I'm in Beyond Meat, and it's
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I have a
nervous about
feeling that the The Biden effect.
Yeah, it's finally kicking in. I know.
It's kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, there's going to be a lot more pain coming.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt, and it's due anyway. But Biden's going to make it worse.
There's a commercial dump truck full of bad things that are going to happen.
I like the way you put that. A commercial dump truck that actually makes total sense. I love it.
Yeah, because that's where it should all go, in the dump.
Yep, exactly.
Anyway.
So anyway, what do we got going on today, Phil?
Well, we got a couple of interesting topics. One of them is, how do you win friends and influence people? Another one
Talking
is
politics.
a little bit. Like sometimes it's
No, I just couldn't resist.
you understand it's impossible to completely ignore politics because
of
so
course
much of the stock market and the real estate market are tied to politics.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't ignore it. We're not a political show, but we do sometimes share our political opinions. Is America on the decline? And if it is, how should investors react to that? That's an important question. Okay. How about housing versus land investing? That's an interesting one. We've never talked about that
Yeah,
on
it's
the
a good
show.
one.
Should I buy a house now or should I wait till next year? Some people think you should wait till next year. We're going to talk about that. How are commercial office buildings doing right now? Well, I can tell you how my office building is doing, and we can talk a little bit about that because that's a very interesting topic right now. How nice is it to have chosen this wonderful business?
I love the way that question has been written.
Yes. Stock, and at the end of our show, in the last 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to bring on the stock option sultan with the picks of the week. And this is the only segment where you can actually listen to it and make money Monday. If you are a stock option trader and you understand how stock option trading happens, you could make some of these plays based on the stock option sultan's picks. If you're not a options trader, maybe you should get your butt to investor schooling, where we could teach you a little bit about it.
Should I get their whole body or just their butt?
Well, you know what I mean.
Okay, I got you.
It's just a thing I say on the commercial.
Is that what you say in the commercial?
I
Didn't you
say-
get in trouble for saying that in the commercial once?
I didn't get in trouble, but a very nice little old lady called up the station and said that me saying get your butt to investor schooling was vulgar.
Yeah, she didn't like that.
Yeah, she didn't. Maybe, she doesn't have a very nice butt.
Or maybe you are vulgar.
Yeah, either one, I'll sleep like a baby tonight.
I'm sure you will.
We also had a couple of questions emailed in to us. One of them is, do you guys teach raising credit scores? Absolutely, we do teach that. We could talk a little bit about that. And I don't really like this question, but somebody emailed in and said, is Phil in the mafia?
And are you sure I didn't email that question?
It could have been you. I don't know. I don't like skip search the text messages I get.
All right, that's fine. Wow. All right, so where are we going to start?
Anywhere you want. Which one of these topics intrigues you?
I want to start. Let's go in linear order. Let's start with the top one.
Okay. So how do you win friends and influence people?
So, boy, it's a kind of an interesting question because I'm the kind of person that I don't care if I win friends and influence people. So I'm not sure how to answer the question, honestly. And I'm sitting here trying to think of a way, and I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sure you've read the book.
You know what? Believe it or not, I have not.
You have not read the book.
I have not read the book. I've read books on how to interact with people more, but not that one, not that specific one.
Well, you should probably open up an Audible account on your iPhone, and you can download audiobooks when you're in the car.
Well, I had an Audible account, and I didn't like the way they billed me every month because I liked it better when you could go one at a time and you could listen to them one at a time, and you could just buy the ones you want.
Mm-hmm.
Now they make you have a subscription to it, and you have to buy the books anyway, which I couldn't understand that. So I don't know. The whole thing got weird with me.
Okay. Well, I got to admit that I've been listening to the audio book of How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Well, tell me about it.
For the most part, I was not enamored by the topics.
So you don't want to influence people.
A lot of it was about being nice and really pretending to care about what the people were saying. And I mean, I'm going to care about what people are saying sometimes, and sometimes I'm not going to care. And so I don't know that I can just turn off part of my brain and turn on another part of my brain and be that way. So I don't know that I love the book, is what I'm saying. I'm reading.
But there are people who want to influence people and make friends and influence people. I don't necessarily want to make friends and influence people, but I do like friends and I do like people.
Well, I'll tell you about a book I am listening to on Audible that I like a lot, and it's called The Close, 7-Level Selling. And
That's pretty cool.
And this is written by the recently deceased Stefan Aarnio.
Okay.
Who's written a number of very good books that I've read. He says that psychologists developed a 7-level system of gaining someone's trust and faith and support. And he took that psychologist strategy and applied it to a sales strategy, using the same techniques that psychologists would use to gain the trust and faith and belief with their patients, and he uses it, or did use it, as a method of selling, and he calls it 7-level selling, and it's quite interesting. It's quite cerebral, and maybe a little deeper than most salespeople would want to go, but I think it's interesting.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's funny. I get offended when people call me a salesperson, which is kind of weird. I mean, I know I have to be, and you are all day long, but at the same time, I'm just somebody trying to help people.
Yeah,
no matter what I'm doing, I'm trying to help somebody.
But life is sales, isn't it?
I agree.
Every time you meet somebody, you're trying to. I gave my investor schooling business card to a guy today at a fast food Dunkin' Donuts window.
Really?
Well, he looked at my car. He commented on my car. He said, "How much does it cost to wrap a vehicle?" And I'm thinking about wrapping mine. And I gave him my card, and I said, "Give me a call, and I'll talk to you about it." And obviously, I want him to call me so I can invite him to the school.
So, are we ever going to actually get to real estate and stock options?
Well, we've already covered how to win friends and influence people.
You're not influencing me at the moment, and you're not winning my friendship at the moment, because I want to talk about real estate and stock options. Okay?
Well, I already have your friendship, and influencing you it would be easier to bang my head against a brick wall.
I don't agree with you. I'm going to tell you that you already influenced me. You are an amazing guy, and I really respect what you've done in the real estate market. It's pretty impressive. Actually, I respect what you've done in options trading too. You're kicking my ass.
Watch your language.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a dump or not.
Yeah.
We'll find out the hard way.
All right, so let's talk about, is America on the decline? If you're asking me, I say absolutely. It's on the decline. And I'm not talking politically, or am I? And I'm very concerned about the future of this country right now. And in my opinion, what am I going to be investing in? I'm going to be investing in low-income housing, affordable housing.
So tell me about that, because I know you're really into these mobile home parks, and I find that fascinating.
Well, not just mobile home parks, but affordable housing. So mobile home parks are probably the cheapest thing that you can live in the United States anywhere. And probably in every state, mobile home parks are the cheapest. But I think apartment buildings also fit this mold. I think maybe possibly tiny homes, container homes, homes you can buy from Amazon and have them delivered to a piece of ground that you own.
It's funny that Amazon definitely took over what Sears used to be.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Funny.
It's interesting. Some of the homes that they got on there are like $35,000.
Yeah,
and you can buy a home and have it delivered to you. I think that's pretty cool. And you build it like a kit. You follow the instructions.
Right.
It's like building your kid a bicycle on Christmas morning.
Exactly.
You build a house for one of your tenants. So I want to be in a business that I know won't fail, no matter how bad things get in America. And that's it. That's my whole philosophy, is if things get really bad and economically this country's in big, big trouble, I'll still be able to fill every one of my rentals because they're going to be the cheapest things. You won't have anything cheaper to go to than what I'm offering. Therefore, I should be packed to the gills and everything rented, and people are never going to leave because they can't go anywhere else that's cheaper.
I also believe that low-income housing could never fail because there's always low-income people. So it's not like when the economy gets better, your low-income housing goes away. It stays there forever.
Well, if a lot of these policies are bad for the middle class is going to become the lower class.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're going to be flooded and inundated with people who need what product I'm selling.
Well, yeah. So you have kind of like a doom and gloom theory on that.
For now.
Yeah.
For now, it can change.
I don't disagree. It's kind of like the way I rent. I rent to people who are the same. The person who goes to work every day, probably never going to buy a house, but has decent credit, like 650, 680 credit score. They never want to buy a house, but they're going to live there for a long time. Those are my favorite kind of tenants.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've toured a lot of mobile home parks, and if you're there in the morning, if you happen to have an early morning meeting at a mobile home park, you will see right away your tenants going off to work. And you know what they're wearing? McDonald's uniforms.
Yeah, right.
They're fast food people. They work at Dunkin' Donuts. They work at fast food restaurants. They work at Walmart. These are hardworking people, and they work.
But be careful because, pretty soon they're going to be getting $15 an hour and they'll be able to move.
Well, and then robots will have to live in my mobile home parks.
I always find that fascinating, too, the $15 an hour thing. People don't get it. All it does is raise prices. It doesn't give them $15 an hour.
It hurts the people it's designed to protect.
So does everything that the Democrats do, but that's a whole other issue.
Yeah,
and we can certainly get there over and over again.
Okay, so what's your opinion on housing versus land investing?
All right, so real quick, I'm going to answer that, but let everybody know that you can call in at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. Today we're transmitting onto Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and LinkedIn. So if you guys are there and you guys have never seen the show before, we're on a whole bunch of different transmissions today, and you can call in live right now at 855-939-1137 with your questions, and you can attend a free class this Thursday at investorschooling.com. So land versus housing. I don't like land at all. And I'll tell you why. I like to spend my money and get money right away. So in other words, if I buy an apartment or I buy a house or I buy a townhouse for $100,000, for example. I wish I could find a townhouse for $100,000. But if I find a townhouse for $100,000, I put somebody in there, and in a month, maybe two, if I have to renovate it, I start getting $1,000 a month, and I start getting return on my money. The other thing I don't like about land is I hear story after story, and I'll be honest with you, because I don't buy land, I can't actually tell you if it's true or not. I just hear stories where people buy land, they hold on to it for 10 or 20 years, and they end up selling it for exactly what they paid for it.
Well, I've never liked land, never, as an investment. But I like it because mobile home parks tend to come with a lot of land. For example...
Right, and that's different, though.
Right, that's different. Okay, so I have a park under contract that I intend to buy soon in the Tampa area, and it has 10 acres of property, but only 2 of the front acres near the road are allowed to have 10 mobile homes on it. So I would buy the park based on just the 10 mobile homes right now. I would buy it. With the land being like something extra that I may or may not do something with down the road. But it is 10 acres, and if I could clear the lots, clear all the ground, and get a real look at what it looks like, maybe there's something else I can do with it. Maybe they would allow me to put more houses there. Maybe it could become farmland, agricultural land that could be farmed by somebody else, which would be something that I could make money off of by letting a farmer actually cultivate the land and pay me rent for using it. I don't know. I have a lot of different ideas in my head. I have not talked to the township about that because I never go down to the township and talk to them about anything about a piece of property until the day I've bought it.
Really?
Okay? I could call them up and ask them some questions on the phone anonymously.
Right.
But I do not want to go down there and fill them in on what I'm really thinking until I officially own it.
That makes... Now I understand what you meant. Yeah, okay. I agree with you. Okay. Because I do talk to them if I'm doing something a little bit different. I just want to find out what the rules are.
Yeah, but what happens? What I'm afraid of happening is I go down there and I say, "Hey guys, I'm Phil Falcone. Let me tell you what I'm planning to do."
Right.
And all of a sudden, somehow, I'm kicked out at a deal, and somebody else is executing my plan.
Oh, that's true too. But I'm also looking at it as the township doesn't like you because when you walk in there, there are people who have an opinion of you.
And
He
there are,
sounds like a mafioso shyster.
look, when I was trying to build a executive suite center, my second executive suite center, I went down to the township to talk to them about what I was doing, and one of the guys said to me, "I wish I had thought of that."
Really?
And then he started asking me a lot of questions about how I was going to do it. And ever since then, I just don't go down to townships
Really?
and fill them in on what I'm doing
Huh.
until
That's rough.
after I own it.
That's rough.
Yeah, well, it's just me.
Like,
Loose lips sink ships.
yeah, exactly.
World
I
War
agree.
II strategies. I keep my mouth shut. Okay?
I like it.
All right. Hal,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to
go-
move to the next question?
Yeah, and also, by the way, you can call in at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. I think our producer John is out there, and he'll say hi to you if you call him and say hi.
Yeah, so give him a call.
Yeah.
He's a lonely guy, too. He needs a phone call.
Yeah, he needs somebody to say hi to him. He had a rough time getting to work today, apparently.
So one thing I would just say about the housing versus land is obviously I only would buy houses. However, I feel that with all these people moving to Florida, 1,000 people a day moving to Florida, it's estimated. Florida's population tends to be freer than most places in the United States, with the exception of maybe Texas. People are loving Florida, and it's absolutely beautiful in every direction you go in. It's pure beauty everywhere you go. Something that you just have to experience. I don't care what direction you take your car and go for a ride, where you're going to go, it's going to be lovely, right? But the fact that all these people are moving there, that I see an amazing amount of growth in Florida and possibly in Texas. I'm not an expert on Texas, but if I own a bunch of land in Florida, maybe in 10 years, this will be the first time in my life where I'll actually make money off of owning land.
So it's interesting because you're calling out all the free states, the people who have freedoms again. And I agree with you. I think people are fleeing all these other states and they're going to the free states.
It's just where I want to be.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Between just the weather, you take the weather and you take the freedom. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
And-
hopefully it's going to be able to stay free.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're flooding illegal aliens into these some of these states with
Sure.
the sole intention of changing the color of the state.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. Okay, let's move on.
And I want to make sure you make color from red to blue because I don't want you to anybody to call you a racist.
Well, as a Republican, I'm probably a racist in most people's minds anyway.
Of course,
Yeah. Racist. But anyway.
because you believe all lives matter.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a bad guy.
I only believe real estate lives matter.
Real estate lives?
Yeah, anybody who lives in real estate, who owns real estate, who has real estate, or sleeps in real estate, or stands on real estate, those are the only people in my life that matter.
Good thing that we're both armed because there could be, some BLM people who'll be charging on Investor Schooling headquarters right now.
Yeah, I know, really.
Little do they know we have a tunnel underneath our building.
Yeah, you ever notice that they played a disclaimer at the beginning that this aren't necessarily the views of WPHT?
Yeah, why would they do that?
Well, when you think about that, it's every single person on there says the same thing.
All right, let's keep going. So should I buy a house now or should I wait till next year? Now, I have heard some people saying that they think that the buys are going to be better next year. Right now, the market is just super crazy hot. Nobody can find a deal. Our buddy on Facebook, Sal, tried to buy the house next door. He couldn't buy it. He had the winning bid, but he couldn't buy it because he lived too close to the house.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with the real estate market right now, and a lot of people getting frustrated because they can't find a deal, and they can't even find something that they need to live in. Okay? So there's people who have some real issues today with the real estate market. And there are a lot of people that are hoping that because of the moratorium on evictions, that it's still going on, I believe, in Philadelphia. I'm not sure because I don't have any houses in Philadelphia. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for keeping me from holding my Philadelphia houses. So I didn't get
Stay out of
creamed.
Philadelphia.
I did not get creamed during COVID because I dumped all my houses in 2018, baby. Yes, foresight is a wonderful
Yes,
thing
yes.
if you can have it. So, also, I used to own an apartment building in Trenton, as you know, and I sold that in
yeah.
2018.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have been as bad.
I think it would have been worse.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Trenton, New Jersey. This is like, assistance program heaven.
Well, that's fine, but so assistant program is great because they were paying through COVID.
Okay.
If you had people on Section 8, they were paying. If you had people paying, any kind of program,
I really
they were paying.
didn't participate in Section 8 ever, except for when I bought a building and it came with the Section 8 people.
So a while back, I was doing Section 8. I had no problem with it whatsoever. And this is really great stuff. There's a great topic for us to get on. I had no problem with Section 8 people. In fact, I liked them a lot, especially the ones who are paying partial. But you have to understand that when you do Section 8, there's a couple of problems with it. And one is that you're going to have some unscrupulous tenants say, hey, listen, you're asking $1,600 a month rent. My Section 8 will only allow me to have $1,400 a month. So will you write the lease for $1,400 and let me give you the $200? Don't ever do that, because as soon as you do that, you are in a really tough spot now. Now you can't evict the person if they don't pay the $200.
So let me explain something. The reason that I never participated in the Section 8 program, other than when I bought buildings that came with tenants in it, is because I hate governments. I hate the feds. I hate the state. I hate condo associations. I hate city organizations. I hate anyone who wants to limit my freedom.
Understood.
I hate them all.
Sure.
And I just would not go out of my way for 1 second to participate in a government program, even if it benefited me financially.
Okay, I understand that. I haven't done Section 8 in a very long time. So,
Okay.
And the way I rent, I don't do Section 8 also because I ask people when they come to show up to rent an apartment from me, they show up and I tell them on the phone, if you want the apartment, it's a $500 deposit. And at that point, I will hold the apartment for you. I don't even run the credit until they give me a $500 deposit because I have no interest in running the credit.
I don't even understand why you do that. I would just say, give me 3 months rent right now.
Well, not everybody's prepared to do that, but to hold the apartment till they move in, it's $500. It's a $500 deposit.
Okay.
And it's been working for me for years, and I love it. It's great. It's a great.
I think in this
method.
market, you should ask for all the money. All of it.
It might not be a bad idea.
Just ask for it. Just say, look, you want this? You like the place? You seen it? You like it? Good. Go to the bank, get the rest of the money, and bring it to me. Okay?
It's not a bad idea.
And you
but
sign the lease right
yeah.
then and there. And
Yeah,
if
sign
you're
the lease.
already-
That's what you have to do. You have to sign the lease. Exactly.
Yeah, you sign the lease right then and there.
Right.
So, okay. So one other thing about Section 8 I would just comment on. The reason, I got nothing against the people who are in the program, okay? I got nothing against that. But I've always gravitated to higher quality properties, all right? Now, I'm telling you now, I'm not. Now, I'm specifically
Correct.
buying things that are very low income properties,
Now
okay?
that's interesting that you would go there after you just said that.
Right, but I flipped. Yes,
Okay.
because if okay, so if you think the country is on the incline, then you should be buying high-level condos. You should be buying big office buildings. You should be buying big, fancy properties for high-end clients. If you think the country's going in a negative manner, then you should do the opposite. And obviously, I've reacted to what I see, and I'm anticipating trouble in the future.
Got it.
That's all. That's
All
all.
right.
Okay, next topic.
So why don't we go to a commercial first,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
and then we'll find out who our producer is because I'm not even sure who it is at the moment.
A producer.
Whoever's out
who
there,
needs
take
a-
us out to a commercial.
Who needs a producer anyway?
Hi, I'm Phil Falcone from InvestorSchooling.com.
Who is it?
I'm inviting you to a complimentary class in Langhorne this Thursday night at 7 p.m. I will teach you how to buy ugly houses and make them beautiful. As a bonus, we will also teach you stock option investing. So get your butt to this meeting, 7 p.m. this Thursday night, Langhorne, 215-876-3002,
So who's out there? Is it Jim or John?
InvestorSchooling.com.
Hey everybody, it's Larry Sinus from InvestorSchooling.com. You heard my partner Phil Falcone tell you why you should be there this Thursday night to learn about real estate investing and learn about stock options trading. We're telling you right now, you will make more money than you've ever made in your entire life if you learn these two skills. Be there this Thursday night at 7 o'clock in our Langhorne headquarters. Go to investorschooling.com. Pull over right now. Take out your phone and go to investorschooling.com. RSVP right now. Investorschooling.com. See you Thursday.
I'm Phil Falcone from Executech Suites. I got a question for you. What do you get for $4.95 a month at Executech Suites? You get an office big enough for one person. You get the furniture in that office. You get the telephone on the desk. You get the telephone number. You get the fax number. You get the internet. You get 2 full-time receptionists to answer the phone in the name of your company and patch the calls to you, whether you're in the office, in your car, or at home sleeping on a couch. You get the conference rooms, you get the mailboxes, you get the printer, the copier, the scanner, you get the janitorial service, the utilities, and free coffee. I know it's hard to believe that you could get all those things for $495 a month, but it's true. 67 Buckle Road in Huntington Valley, Executech Suites. Give us a call, 215-942-7701.
Jamie says,
215-942-7701.
wow, Phil, your tan is beautiful.
Hey, everybody, it's Larry Steinitz from InvestorSchooling.com.
And I'm Phil Falcone from InvestorSchooling.com.
Hey, what are we going to teach them this Thursday night, Phil?
We're going to teach you how to invest in real estate so you can build a basis to get rich.
And I promise I'm going to teach you stock options. So go to InvestorSchooling.com and RSVP right now. Right, Phil?
We've been in this business for 30 years. We have amazing amounts of information to share with you. Get your butt to this meeting this Thursday night in Langhorne.
InvestorSchooling.com. All right. We are back, and this is Investor Schooling Live, and you can call in with your live question at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. We are excited when you call, and we are excited to talk to you about anything that has to do with real estate investing, stock options trading, or anything that has to do with money, or even Biden's new tax plans. Phil, I forgot my hat today, and I look bald on Facebook.
You could borrow my my purple pimp hat, the property pimp's hat.
The only problem with the property pimp hat is I don't think the headphones will go over it.
Yeah, it doesn't really. What also happens is it has a giant brim.
Yeah,
so
right.
it
So
hits the
headphones will go over
microphone.
it. Yeah, right, exactly. Oh,
I could get some scissors and modify it for you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Sure. All right. So you had what was the next topic that we had to talk about today?
Why don't we go down and answer some of these questions that came in?
Sure.
So one of the questions was, do you guys teach raising credit scores?
Do we teach raising credit scores? We actually are a big advocate of teaching raising credit scores, but more importantly, we teach raising credit. So there's a big difference between a credit score and a credit. So I'm going to ask you out there, and you can answer in your car, yell at the radio, whatever you want. Would you rather have an access to a $500,000 worth of credit and a 500 credit score, or would you rather have no access to money and an 850 credit score? And I don't know how you answered, but me, I don't care what my credit score is. I care about the access to the credit. I like to have access to credit. Currently, I have available to me about $730,000 available credit to me on just credit cards. And we teach people how to do that. And you're in your car going, why would anybody want $730,000 available credit? Well, first of all, it's because I can use that for anything. I can even use it to buy a house. We had one student, remember, he bought a house on his credit cards.
Yes, I do.
He bought a combination of credit cards and hard money, zero out of his pocket, and I mean zero out of his pocket. Closed the deal 3 months later, paid everybody back, and made $28,000. That's just great. You know, we don't talk about no money down. No money down. It's no money down. Who cares? Would you care if you're paying 24? And now most people aren't paying 24% interest on a credit card, but if you're paying 24% interest on a credit card, and at the end of the deal your profit was $28,000, I don't care how much interest I gave to the credit card company. I care about how much money I put in my pocket. And if it was that much money, that's great.
Having money on your hip that you can call on, regardless of whether it's a credit card or a home equity line of credit or a private money loan or a hard money loan, having these individuals that can lend you, if the deal of a lifetime comes around, like the one that you just gave me a big check for, imagine if I couldn't buy that. I would have lost $130,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But because I could buy it, I was able to go home with a big giant bag of money.
I'll tell you another thing too. What's coming if the Biden administration does destroy the economy, and we're assuming it is, we're assuming the worst. But if it does, the people who have money or credit available to them are the people who are going to be able to take care of this, take advantage of the economy coming, and that is where you need to make sure you have it. Plus, when every once in a while you can have a credit card company who, during bad times, will take away your credit. So let's say you have a $20,000 card, and they all of a sudden now it's only a $3,000 card. But if you have all these other cards, who cares? Let them do it. I don't care. It happened to me in COVID. I had 2 cards that dropped me down to 25% of my original credit limit, and they just dropped it because they were scared.
Yeah, they did that to me a couple of years ago. I didn't have as many credit cards as I have now. Now I have I'm in the range of like 450,000 in credit cards.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a contest.
And I'm using not really to me, but I'm using very little of it. I think I owe like 20 grand right now or
That's
something.
great.
But, back then when I got over 30%, I'd get a couple of letters saying, hey, we've lowered your credit limit from 30 grand down to 2 grand.
Yeah, which is terrible.
Right. So you're moving.
And they mess up your credit score when they do that. It's
Right.
really, I'd rather them call me up and say, listen, we're not going to lower your credit. We're just not going to let you use it anymore.
Well, so at that time, when I then opened the school with you and you started talking about credit cards, it made perfect sense to apply.
Yep.
So get an extra 100,000 in available credit, even if you have no intention of using it.
Yep.
Get 200,000 of available credit. Now it's much more difficult for you to cross over that 30% mark.
That's right.
That at least Credit Karma looks at closely.
Well, everybody does look at close. And here's interesting, too. My goal is to get $1 million available credit in credit cards. That's my goal. And when you think about that, that means that I could have $330,000 out there in loans and credit card loans and still be below, right at the 33%, whatever, and it'll be fine. But there are times where I need to borrow a lot of money because something happens, like I need to fix a place up or I need to buy a place or something, and my credit score drops to 620, and then a month later my credit score is 800 again. I don't care what my credit score is unless I happen to be going for a mortgage from a bank or for a car loan, which I don't really care about the car loan anyway. But the mortgage from a bank is the only time I really care. And I know how to manipulate my credit to bring it back into the high 7s at any time.
If you want to learn about how to do that, you should get your butt to Investor Schooling this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Go to the web.
Or your $.
Go to investorschooling.com, look up the address, put your name and email address in so you know where we are, and save yourself a seat. And we'll see you Thursday night. Okay.
And maybe I'll even talk about credit if somebody brings it up.
Somebody else sent in a question that says, and it probably was you, Larry. It says, is Phil in the mafia?
You know,
He sounds like a mafioso shyster.
every time I want to talk to Phil, I get nervous because that's all I ever hear.
So let me fill you in on something, Larry.
All right.
The Italians invented the mafia.
What?
And we ran it for a very long time. But the Russians and the Chinese took over about 25 years ago. So we're pretty much out now. We've become legitimate businessmen.
So the Russians and the Chinese took over the mafia
Yeah,
from the Italians.
essentially, yes.
It sounds like that's what's happening to America right now.
Well, the feds with new things such as wires and other methods to tap people's computers and all that kind of stuff, phone records, they were able to put in prison most of the big shot mafioso shysters. So now the Chinese and the Russians have taken over the business. So we're out.
Oh, is that it? I always
Yeah.
wondered about that because
Right.
I wasn't sure. You sound like a mafioso
He
shyster.
sounds like a mafioso shyster.
If you want to bring out the mafioso shyster in an Italian, keep calling him a mafioso shyster.
Really? What are you going to do?
You'll find out the hard way. Okay, let's go to the next topic. How are
I want to
commercial...
know how many people we just insulted that were mafioso shysters.
We've only insulted BLM, Chinese, and the Russians.
We didn't insult the Italian Americans.
Oh, those two, I forgot.
All right, that's fine.
But they're not really in the mafia anymore.
Well,
so.
whenever you're ready, we'll go to the Jews.
Okay, well, we might be able to make fun of them before the end of the show. Okay. So how are commercial office buildings doing now?
How are commercial office buildings doing now? Well, you would probably be the better one to ask, but I think it's going to be a great play to buy commercial stuff right now.
Well, I'll tell you, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty well, thanks to my wife and her ability to rent office space. So my wife really runs the office building. I bought it. I ran it for a couple of years. I handed it off to her and my daughter run the whole facility. And I think we're doing fairly well. And the reason we're doing fairly well is probably because of one reason, that we're a affordable office building. We're not a big high rise down in Philadelphia charging major bucks, right? We're a suburban facility. We don't have a lot of competition around us. We do a beautiful job of taking care of our people. We have a gorgeous facility, and we keep our prices cheap. So I think as long as we use that strategy, we're going to be fine.
So it almost sounds like you're moving into residential the way you moved into office buildings, where you're doing the cheap stuff.
Well, my office building was always very affordable. But I think that the people who are getting hurt today are the big shots, the Regus, the WeWork guys.
So why do you think? I mean, you own a building that's similar model. Why do you think that is?
It's not a similar model. So first of all, Regus and WeWork do not own the buildings. They rent the buildings, and then they re-rent them.
All right,
so their profit margin is much smaller. Where we're okay, so let's just say that Regus and WeWork own a building, okay, and even if they charge a lot more rent than us, they never build equity in their building.
That's true.
Right?
Right.
Okay. Where my building is going to be worth over $2 million by the time I'm done paying it off. And that's going to be an amazing asset for me to have.
I think it's going to be worth more than $2 million.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be conservative, and I'm saying that I think it's going to be worth about $2.5 million.
Well, that's fine. Either way, whatever it is, it's great. But when I think about that, I don't know. I didn't realize, first of all, I didn't realize that WeWork and Regus were renting the building and then re-renting the building. That doesn't even make any sense.
They do not. Regus owns, they say that they own or operate 1,800 facilities worldwide. They don't own a single building.
Wow, that's dumb.
WeWork does the exact same model.
Really?
Yep. Now WeWork,
that could explain why they're in trouble.
Of course. Well, WeWork was valued at one point at $60 billion. Now it's finished.
Right.
It's over.
Correct. Yeah.
They were the largest renter of commercial space in New York City, and now they're done. They're toast. Yeah. The guy who started the company, he got like a $1.8 billion payoff or something, and he's gone. And I don't know if they're trying to bring the company back, I suppose, but I could care less. They're not really a competitor of mine. I'm a suburban office building owner.
No, yeah, you're very different too. Even your prices are different.
Yeah, we do everything.
So why don't you do a plug for Executech so everybody knows how to rent an office there?
Right. So suppose you're looking for a cheap office for, say, let's just say you got one person or two people. We rent space for $4.95 a month for a one-person office, for $5.95 a month for a two-person office. You could rent an office space in my facility for $5.95 a month. And guess what you get? You get the furniture any way you like it, okay? You get 2 full-time receptionists to answer the phone in the name of your company. ABC Painting Company, how can I help you? Would you like to talk to John Smith? Let me patch the call to you. You could be at home sleeping on your couch, and we'll patch the calls to you, and it sounds like you're in your office, okay?
Now, you have another service, though, too, that I really like. You have the phone answering service.
Right. Well, that's what I'm talking about right now.
But it's a separate phone answering service.
But you don't have to be in my building to use the phone answering service. But for all of our tenants, that's included in your rent. So we will answer the phones for you and patch the calls to you. Understand, if you're a new business and you're just learning how to build up your company, whatever business that is. In this example, let's say you're a painting company, right? When I call your company, someone's going to answer the phone every single time. And someone is going to either put you in a voicemail or get you to the person wherever they are, preferably get you to the person, even if they're at home sleeping on their couch. And what does that do for your business? It means that you are accessible almost 100% of the time. So when people call you, you're on the phone. And that is an amazing way to make your customers see that you are accessible to them all the time. In addition to that, you get the conference rooms, you get a printer, a copier, a scanner, you get the free coffee, you get the electric paid, you get a janitorial service to clean your office and dump your trash every night, vacuum your carpets. It's a full service for $5.95 a month, $4.95 a month, all the way up to a couple thousand if you had 15 employees and you needed a much bigger office. Executech Suites, 67 Buck Road, Huntington Valley, PA. Come by and see my wife, Terry, or you can see my daughter, Jackie, and tell them Phil sent you.
It was supposed to be a plug. It wasn't supposed to be the Executech Suites show.
You asked a salesman like me to give a plug for Executech?
I mean, I was just trying to be nice and say, hey, let's do a little plug for Executech. I didn't say, let's do the whole show on it. We have no time for anything now.
By the way, if anybody comes by and rents an office next week, I'll give you $500 off.
Hey, how about if you give them a free copy of our book?
Yeah, they can have that for free.
Do you remember the name of our book?
The name of our book is How to Make $1 Million in Stock Option Trading. And
No,
Real
that's
Estate
not the name
Investing.
of the book.
Neither one of us know the name of the book.
I know. Phil named this book How We Got Rich. How We Got Rich. I can't remember the name of it. Hey, Jamie, write down the name of the book for everybody. How We Got Rich with Stock Options Investing and Real Estate and How We Quit Our Jobs. Who knows? I know.
I think it was How to Move to Paradise, Get
No,
Rich,
that wasn't it
and
either.
sell your book for $1 million.
How to write such a good book that you can't remember the name of it. There you go.
Okay. Next, you want to go to the next question?
Sure.
How nice is it to have chosen this wonderful business to be in?
You just reminded me of something when you asked that question. Has anybody ever said to you, like when you talk, you say you go to Florida and you say that you own Executech Suites? Oh, did anybody ever know that you own Executech Suites? Anyway, they say you own Executech Suites. You're a millionaire, a multimillionaire, whatever, right? And did anybody ever say to you, "It must be nice"?
Yeah, people say that sometimes.
What do you think? What do you think about that when somebody says that?
People who don't have money don't know how to react to you, and what I kind of learned the hard way when I first, let's just say when I first became a millionaire, I was very proud of myself. I wanted to tell everybody. I wanted to tell everybody that I knew about it, and I made it public knowledge that because I was just proud. I don't think I was bragging, although I might have been bragging. I wasn't as smooth 15, 20 years ago as I am now. But I noticed real quickly that people didn't appreciate it. Either they were jealous or they were rooting against me to fail. I don't really know what it is. I just noticed that going around talking about my success did not bring joy to the people I was speaking to.
So you didn't make friends and influence people with that, huh?
I don't believe I did.
So I actually, it's funny because all of a sudden people are saying this. I've seen a post on Facebook, and I whenever somebody says that to me, I've been saying the same thing for years. They say, it must be nice. I go, it actually really is. And I don't understand why anyone would answer any different, because it is nice. It's really nice to know that you can have anything you want, buy anything you want, do whatever you want, have a radio show, have a school that you teach people how to get rich. I love it. I mean, I'm living the life of my dreams.
Well, our students absolutely love us, that's for sure, because almost every one of them is making money.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, if you look, we have 139 five-star Google reviews.
Yeah,
139 five-star Google reviews, and we have 140 reviews. I'll let you go find the bad review, and I want you to find it because it's hysterical, actually.
It's a pretty powerful statement.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. I guess I don't. I talk about my success when I'm talking to you, and because I know that you're the kind of person who would only want me to succeed even more, as I want that for you. And
I get excited when you make $127,500 on a wholesale deal.
I get excited when you made $192,000 in one day in stock options.
Oh, it's the Mutual Admiration Society again. I love it, Phil.
Yeah, well, but those are amazing things.
Oh, absolutely.
And I give you plenty of credit for helping me. Like when SBA loans were available, you were the first one to start applying for them and then sharing that knowledge with the school. And I was able to obtain a couple $100,000 out of SBA money, which I then used and more than doubled it already.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
it's great.
so what a wonderful thing. And the method for which I doubled it was using your system of buying stock options. So I thank you, and I thank
but,
you
But you
again.
didn't. But be careful because you're not supposed to use the SBA loan for buying stock options. It's supposed to be for business.
Oh, really?
It was actually for your wholesaling business, and you made money. You made 127. You made the money using the money on the wholesaling business, and then you used that in stock options. I just want everybody to know that.
If there's anyone out
because
there-
we kind of jumped over, and I don't want anybody out there thinking that that you did something you shouldn't have done.
If there's anybody out there from the SBA, you can call us at 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
You can call us right now too at 855-939-1137. So here we go. It's time. It's time for your favorite part of the show.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Here we go.
Stock options Thursday. Stock options Sultan.
All right. I am not liking what I'm seeing in the stock market. I really did not like this week. We had Facebook earnings out. By the way, I got this so wrong. It's so funny because I told you these aren't plays. These are just like speculation plays. I said Facebook was going to drop 25 points after earnings. It went up exactly 25 points. But I also expected Apple to go up. Apple didn't go up. Apple went down.
It never really got past 135, did it?
No, it's really weird, and both of those baffle me. Facebook is sitting there, and it just keeps. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to come down. Matter of fact, if you remember on Friday, I sent a text message to the students that said Facebook puts into the dead zone.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. Facebook is stalling. Apple is stalling. Everything is stalling, and that means that the money managers are getting nervous. They believe that something is coming. So it's always a self-fulfilled prophecy in the stock market anyway. So something is coming. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a couple of good earnings plays. I'm looking for Beyond Meat on, I think it's Monday or Wednesday. I can't remember. It's my only hope because I'm pretty far down in it. And hopefully it'll come back up. I think Alibaba is still a positive play because it's going to bounce off of Amazon's great results. But it's dangerous right now. It's a dangerous place to be. I would tiptoe in, and I would start to see a little bit what's going to happen this quarter because this quarter is going to be a little rough. I believe Facebook is going to go to 280 before it hits 350, and I think it's going to hit 350. But I believe it's going to go 280 first. I'm really looking for Apple to maybe hit the to the 1-teens. In the 1-teens, I'm gonna start loading up again because I think that's also a play.
Well, I definitely would too if it went down that low. What
Yeah.
do you think about Zoom?
Zoom troubles me again, but Zoom doesn't scare me. It just troubles me that it's still in the 320s. I think Zoom should be the 350 to 400 range already.
Zoom's behavior the last earnings period was bizarre.
Well, its behavior last week was bizarre.
Yeah.
It moved up and down 13 points.
Mostly down 13 points.
Yeah. So it's not making me like I said, this is what I think's happening. I think the money managers are getting nervous and they're pulling their money off the table. And when they pull their money off the table, things happen. Now I did notice that crypto. I noticed that Bitcoin is sitting there at 57,000. Ethereum is almost at 3,000. I don't know if it broke 3,000 today and came back down, but Ethereum is at 3,000, which is very interesting because Ethereum is going to be the one that I think is going to rock. I think that's the play. I'm not a big fan of crypto. I just happen to buy some Ethereum, but I also happen to like the idea that Ethereum is going to be the play. I believe Ethereum is silver and Bitcoin is gold. And if you see what's happened, silver's been moving up and gold's been moving up really, really slow. But by the way, just on a side note, I also believe it's time to buy gold because gold is going to start moving up as well. But gold is a different kind of play. Gold is not a play that you buy it for an investment. You buy it to hold it. And then it's just like a house. You buy it to hold it. It doesn't go down much in value, but it does go up in value over time. And it's a good hedge against disasters, which is what we teach. We teach silver and gold is a hedge against disasters. So what else do you have a question on?
Zoom and Baba are my big earnings
Yeah.
plays for this quarter. So obviously
But you got time on both of them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I like the position I'm in. I have a decent amount of both, and one of them is earnings is on 520 and one's on 530. So I don't have to wait very long. We're already into May, and I'm going to know how I made out in 19 days.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and Beyond Meat, Beyond Meat earnings is Wednesday.
I have a much smaller position in Beyond Meat.
Yeah, Beyond Meat scares me a little bit. I've got almost 100 contracts of Beyond Meat.
I think because I bought deep into the money, I'm only down like $2,000.
Okay, yeah.
So-
I'm not down much, but the problem is I'm not far off my strike price. So the problem is I really need Beyond Meat to jump 10 to 15 points in the next day or two, which it could happen because earnings is coming. Or I have to decide on Wednesday whether I'm going to stay in for earnings or not, and that's scary too when you're down that much and you have to decide whether you're going to stay in for earnings.
Probably the only reason I'm not down as much as you is because I bought into the money. That's all.
Yeah, right, exactly. More deeper into money, exactly, right.
Deeper into the money, yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to be looking for Beyond Meat's numbers. We're going to be looking for Facebook to drop. I believe Facebook's a put play. Just let it drop. I wouldn't play it out to 280. I'd play it out to 300 from here to 300. And that's where I would play it. But I would also buy it. If it hits 280, I would buy all you can. And that would be the play into the next earnings is 280. 280 is the new 240, as I said in class the other day.
Okay.
All right. Apple, I believe Apple, again, anything below 120 is a play. I also believe it's a put play, but I would just wait a couple of days to see how it plays out. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday, just to see where the market's going to go, would be my guess on what we should do for Apple. And any other stocks you want me to look at?
No. But
All
I
right.
would like to say thanks to our producer, Jim Kelly, for helping us out today.
Actually, it's not Jim, it's John.
Thanks.
Jim left.
Thanks to our producer, John Cole, for helping us out today. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor on our show, just email us, info@investorschooling.com. That's info@investorschooling.com. And don't forget to visit investorschooling.com for your free class this Thursday night at 7 p.m. on real estate investing and stock option investing. That's right. I'm inviting you right now to go to investorschooling.com, put your name and email address in to save your seat. And if you behave yourself on Thursday night, we might invite you to another complimentary class.
So the first one's free,
The first one's free,
and the second one's complimentary,
and only if they behave themselves.
and it's only it's because it's complimentary to the free one.
And it's also a completely different kind of class than the first one. We have a very unique teaching style here that you have to just see it to understand it. Words cannot describe it.
That's true. It's very entertaining, though. I will have to tell you, it's very
Yes.
entertaining.
Yes. We find ourselves hilarious.
Yeah. What Phil and I try to do is we try to make each other laugh, and then we see if everybody else will laugh along with us. That's what we try to do in this show too. I hope you laughed today. Did anybody laugh today?
I thought we had a pretty good show today.
I thought it was too. I thought it was actually informative. We actually had some good stuff to talk about, including
Okay. I
Including
wish I could
politics.
see the clock so I'd know when we're going out.
we're going out in another 15 seconds. So say something to everybody in 15 seconds. Hi,
Yeah.
Mom. Hi, Dad.
Get your butt to investorschooling.com Thursday night at 7 p.m. You are invited. Yes, you are. Even if we insulted your racial group, you're still invited.
Welcome, everybody. InvestorSchooling.com. See you then.
This program is a paid commercial